Good morning, party people, cats and dogs, sentient beings, YouTube Nation. I do hope this morning finds you all well. Right, I'm going to start a new series of vids regarding relationships, personal work, shadow work, and general matters of the heart and emotional matters. It's no secret I've struggled with mental health for most of my life. Really into shadow work, personal work, breaking general curses, laying good foundations, breaking chains, working on ourselves, and doing the very best that we can and keeping vibes high. So I feel that lots of these mad ramblings that roll around in my head at various points need to be aired. I'll probably say what most of you are all thinking. And even again, I'll say this, if my madness can bring you clarity and make you feel a little more balanced, then it's got to be good, hasn't it? The thing is, a lot of us say we got it, say we're doing it, say we're owning it. We talk the talk, but do we walk the walk? Lots of people don't. Lots of people don't. They sit there and they preach, or they give the advice, but they don't take it. And they do it for years. We're all guilty. I remember, years ago, I would give relationship advice to my friends stuck in loveless marriages. I was stuck in one myself. It took me nearly 5 years to actually open my gob one night and say, no, this is not for me. And the main thing, let's be honest, that keeps us sometimes bound, makes all our decisions for us, is fear. And it's fear of reaction of the other person. It's not, I think a lot of us say that it's fear of the unknown. It's fear of the unknown other person. It's not fear of unknown of what's going to happen in the future. Because I think you got to the point that the situation you're in is so bad, anything's got to be better than this. So that fear is quite small, but it's generally fear of the other person's reaction. And when you do that, you're not living your life. You're not owning your truth. You're playing their song. You're dancing to their fiddle. This is not good. You are not responsible for anybody else's comfort, control, or happiness. You are responsible for your own. Hell, they're more concerned on their own, so why don't you do the same? Is an interesting point. It is so much easier said than done. So when people say, why don't they just leave them? Why don't they just walk out? So much easier said than done. But I think it gets to a point where it builds up and it builds up and it builds up. And then you realise that you were actually to blame as well. You were to blame because you didn't act. Although you have to forgive yourself and understand that you didn't act because you're worried about the situation, because of childhood traumas that you haven't fixed, because of reactions that you're worried about. You haven't done this, yada, yada, yada. Lots of reasons. Some people can quite nastily call them excuses. They're reasons, they're explanations. They're not justifications, but they are explanations. And it's up to you to do it. No, anybody can tell you to do it. And you can understand it. You can take it on point and you can agree wholeheartedly. But it's actually having that fire pit in the pit of your belly. And you get to the point and you think, enough, I'm so out of here. I'm paying extra attention today to my language because it's been brought to my attention that YouTube can actually take down my videos for my cussing. I don't cuss deliberately, unfortunately. It's part of the environment I grew up in. And again, with the self-work, it's part of the environment I'm working on. Anyhow, I think it's clean so far, isn't it? I'll play it back and we'll have a look. You know what you need to do. And you know why you need to do it. Don't let anybody bully you, coerce you, or harass you into doing it. You do it when the time is right for you. It's like giving up drinking or giving up cigarettes or giving up whatever it is that you feel that is not serving you anymore. Your only chance of success is when it's the right time for you. And it's like when you potty train your kids. You can read all the books, you can look at all the YouTube videos, you can speak to all the bloody self-righteous mothers that bake cookies at playgroup. But at the end of the day, Your kid will only sit on that potty with their pants down when they blooming want to. And no book, YouTube video, or self-righteous cookie baker is actually going to tell you different or shift things along for you. There's no magic wand. Everything happens in the timing that it's supposed to. You can call it divine timing, but I suppose it is, isn't it? It's all part of the beautifully complex picture we call our lives. So there's no real script or kind of direction to this, but I just wanted to talk to you about this today because we all talk our talk, but how many of us actually walk our walk? And this is why, when I say to you, you need to listen to the lesson, because that superstar up there in the great divine knows all this, sees all this, listens all this, puts their head in their hands and thinks, oh, mate. Do you know what I'm saying? So, and they will keep pushing the lesson. And that's when I say to you, you get to the point where you've reached your limit, and that is our great divine pushing us and pushing us and pushing us and saying, right, now the time's right. Now you're really ticked off. Now you're going to act. Sometimes it don't come out in the right way. But come on, who has the textbook that's having amicable, this isn't working out chat? Who really does? There's always conflict on some side or some kind of upset somewhere. There's always some kind of imbalance. Because if there was a balance, there wouldn't be an issue, would there, in your relationship? Or the situation. There wouldn't be. So what I would say is how you first come into contact with these people, these situations, is how your vibration is at the time. And that ultimately is how it's going to determine it's going to work out. Unless you're extremely adept communicators, which is rare and can happen. But what I'm saying is when you encounter something you really want, make sure you're in the right place for it. Okay. Make sure you've done your work. And if you haven't done your work and you're still a little shaky and you're still emerging out of your chrysalis, say so. Be honest. Be transparent so everyone knows what page they're on. Some wonderful connections can help heal together. They really can. They can nurture and they can grow and they can learn and they can heal together. I've never encountered one so far, but I'm sure they're out there. I'm sure they're quite fantastic and quite blessed. And those of you that encounter them, big up to you. I wish you every happiness. But you know, the work goes on. The questioning goes on. The learning goes on. The 2 steps forward, 1 step back goes on. It's all valuable, even if it teaches you not to do it again. So, the advice I gave to those single friends, well, a lot of them are on dating websites now for their sins. And me, yeah, I finally did it in the end. I did finally say what I needed to say and walked away in a way that I should have walked away years ago. And so, like all of those that are saying they're talking their talk and walking their walk, I'm talking my talk and I'm skipping my walk. I'm learning. I'm honest, I'm humble, but we're learning. And so everything that I learn and any weird kind of logic that maybe I think I can pass on that may just help you, I'll pass on. So today's just a bit of an introductory witter. And any other thing that anybody do want to hear about, please leave a comment in below or message me, DM me, and I'll see what hippie witch logic I have for you. Do enjoy the rest of your day. Until the next time, peace out.